I feel like making a plate of seafood pasta because I've not eaten it for some time. It's so simple to make, even I can make it, so that's what I'm going to show you. Okay, all the ingredients are needed is half an onion, 2 cloves of garlic. Now if you notice what I've put on there, I've put some red peppers as well, but that's because I like mine a bit spicy bit. You really don't have to put those in, it's personal choice. Okay, and as you see, I'm just chopping up a little bit of fresh parsley. You should always have fresh parsley in the fridge. And of course seafood pasta is always easy to make because you can always have the frozen seafood from Iceland. You get like 3 packs for 10p. Always great to have in the freezer. Then the white wine, of course, and olive oil. Now it's my own personal choice this, I also like to add a little bit of fish stock. Don't have to, because traditionally the easiest way, or the traditional way would be white wine, seafood, garlic and onions. These added things that I've put in are just to bring the flavours up a little bit. And of course parsley, you always have parsley with it, don't you? Fresh parsley. If you haven't got fresh parsley, use the bottle stuff, but believe me, it's such a difference having the fresh parsley. 70p or something like that in Aldi. If it goes off, it goes off. You can always buy another packet. But it's always worth having in the fridge. Stable foods in the freezer. In the freezer, always fish, a mixed fish selection, and the other things you just got to make sure they've got in the fridge. Anyway, first thing I'm going to do is put the pasta in the water that's boiling. Now this pasta is ready in 10 minutes. Now I like mine al dente, so I'll put those in and I'll time that for 9 minutes. Okay, so let's put the pasta in the water and we'll start with the cooking process. Right, I'm only cooking for myself, so water's boiling. I've actually turned it down. Water is boiling, so it's just going to be for me 2 big handfuls. I might put in 3 because I always have a little bit more. Okay, so 3 handfuls of pasta in the bowl, which I guess is about 60 or 80 grams worth of pasta. You know, if you don't want to measure it, just do what I do. 2 big handfuls or 2 big cupfuls. So that's the pasta in. In the meantime, we've got to make the pan hot. Olive oil. Always cook with olive oil. Don't skimp on olive oil. I've got cheap olive oil there for cooking some things, but really you want to always be using good olive oil. This is extra virgin olive oil, and it's dry pressed as well. You can see all the bits in the bottom, lovely stuff. Okay, so the oil's getting hot. It's just a teaspoonful, 2 teaspoonfuls of oil, not too much. You can always add oil later, and this is just so that we can do the onions and the garlic. Okay. What we'll do now, put the onions in, put a couple of the peppers with it. I normally put them in a little bit later, and we'll put those in there, and the peppers, or the pepper. So we now have to heat that up, and we have to get that so that the onions start to become transparent. Don't burn it, because there's nothing worse than burn onions. So we've started with a hot pan. There we are, look, they're just eating away there. Getting hot. The garlic is obviously infusing with the oil. It's only a minute or 2. If you want to time it, you can always say, look, okay, 2 minutes. You can normally see, because the onions, they start to go transparent. I use the red onions, by the way, red onions. And of course, one thing I forgot to do is give the pasta a stir. Some of you say, oh, you put olive oil in there so they don't stick together. Well, that's for lazy people, isn't it? You can always give it a stir every couple of minutes. There they go, look. They're starting to Starting to go transparent. The garlic is just braining slightly, so I think we're ready. I'm going to chuck in a little bit of parsley now. Okay, a little bit of fresh parsley to add to the flavours. And then I think it's getting ready now for the seafood. Frozen seafood, so straight from frozen. A couple of handfuls of that stuff in there. It's all in there, isn't it? This does shrink then. Like I say, 10 quid for 3 packets of this stuff at Iceland. You know, you could even buy a packet of mussels and add mussels to it, or whatever. So this one packet will last me, I don't know, a long time. And it's always in the freezer. Right. Well, there we are. Give it a stir. Alexa, we've got to put the time on for the pasta. That's very unusual. That's because I'm talking to you guys. But anyway, the pasta, if it says on the packet, and I always look at the time on the packet. If it says 10 minutes, then I'll do it for 9 minutes. If it says 11 minutes, I'll do it for 10 minutes. But of course, the preference is yours. If you like your pasta very, very soft, then either do it for the exact time, or do it even a minute longer. But I think you find for those of you that's been, gone to Italy, they like it al dente. In other words, that's slightly undercooked. And of course, the final part of the cooking is then in the pan. Because remember, you always put the pasta to the sauce, not the sauce to the pasta. Look, there you are, look, a couple of minutes and we've got the basis of our seafood sauce. Right. Next thing you have to do now is add a bit of wine. Half a glass. Now, it's not a bad wine, this one. Okay, you don't use rubbish wine for this. They say you don't use wine for cooking that you wouldn't drink. So why do you put rubbish wine in food anyway? I don't understand that. Anyway, so half a glass of white wine. And then let that simmer away. As you can see, the wine is starting to evaporate because it's boiling away there. The fish is getting soft, so that effectively the flavours of the fish are infusing with the wine, but the wine is boiling away. So at this point, you can either add water from the pasta, or, as I like to do, and this is my preference, the purists would say add water from the pasta. I like to add just a little bit of fish stock. Not much, just a little bit, because you don't want the fish stock to overpower the flavour of the seafood. There you go. See, and they added a little bit more liquid, and it's boiling away. Frozen seafood, it's all soft now, so the flavours are coming in. And by the way, frozen seafood is just as fresh as any fresh seafood you get, because when they get it, they freeze it straight away, so the flavours are frozen in. It's the same with a lot of frozen fish as well. Sometimes frozen fish is more fresh than the actual fresh fish you buy from the shop. Remember, if it starts to dry up, you can always add either a little bit of water from the pasta, or a little bit of your fish stock. Pasta's drained, in the pasta, in with the sauce. Remember, pasta always goes into the sauce. Alexa, stop. quick mix up. There you go. Lovely jubbly. At this point I like to add a bit of pepper. I don't like these things you buy from the supermarkets. After about 3 twists they stop working. Anyway, bit of pepper mixed in, a dash of oil. Olive oil. Just one more quick dash because everything's done with olive oil. Give it a stir. And there we have seafood pasta. All that we managed to do is plate up. Here we come. I said this is for one, actually it's for about 10 people this. I always overcook more than I need. There we go. Penne, seafood pasta. Let's just get a little bit of that sauce dribbled over it there. There you go. Another quick small sprinkle of olive oil, just a small amount. And a bit of fresh parsley over the top of it, like that. And there you have a plate of seafood pasta in what? 10 minutes. Well, I'm going to eat that now. Hope you enjoyed learning how to cook very simple pasta. And of course, don't forget with the pasta, your glass of wine. Thanks guys, hope you enjoyed. Remember, subscribe, like, and ring that bell thing and everything. Take care.